special, but they're there and they're always there. And God bless everyone.
The Four Leaf Clover podcast is sponsored by Planet Celtic.
If you hate the royal family, clap your hands.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Friday Focus show on the Four Leaf Clover podcast. It's been an interesting week in Celtic world yet again, and it looks like, as Andy kind of alluded to there, it's off the field stuff that has finished us off this week that we're going to talk about, I'm sure, and have our opinions on. So, like I said, welcome to the Friday Focus show. Andy, it's your favourite day of the week. I can see you're in good spirits already, mate. How's your week been, pal?
It's been tough, mate. A lot of early starts and just absolutely shattered. Was up at 1:30 this morning, doing a shift, another 12.5 hour shift. So I'm a bit shattered, but glad it's Friday. Glad I'm on here with you guys and everybody watching. So happy days. Apart from I'm hearing there might be a conundrum tonight, so things ain't looking too good, mate.
Potentially, mate. Potentially. Let's see. I want to keep that a surprise. Jerry, how is your hangover, mate? I know you were down in Birmingham, flinging pyro into football pitches and things like that, mate. So how's things gone for you?
It was a pyro.
I'm the same as Andy. I'm a bit shattered as well, but no way the work with it, baby. Good track, boys. But nine of the cousins away doing the minibus to Birmingham. It was like the Waltons getting off the bus, all the Waltons together, you know. So it was brilliant. But only three tickets between 90s. I don't know how they worked it out, but I think it was, if you stayed off the drink, you get a ticket. You know me, Scott, I lasted the Saltcoats. So there's no chance of me getting a ticket, boys, you know what I mean? But it reminded me of going to Butlins years ago with the family, you know, 24th time in the chalet and all that. That's what it was like. Fucking the first in gets the best bed and all that. Let's just say, lads, I bought the couch, so I did. I was on the couch. But good crack, but good place.
Brilliant, mate. And just moving on to your Kaiser, I think he might need a couch soon as well. As you can see, he's been evicted from the Big Brother house. Kaiser, tell us all about it, mate.
Just chilling, my man. Chilled out weekend. Kaiser's always living his best life. You know how it goes. All the legends in chat. Thanks so much for all the warm welcomes and your activity. You know, like Tommy Burns says at the start of the video, Biggie twisty turns, Tommy Burns, it's about yous. Yous are there. Yous are always there. Thank you for being there. Thank you for the likes, the comments after the video as well, legends. When the video closes out, you can comment underneath. So if you catch the video later on, feel free to comment. I'll always come back and check it out. So does the lads. We come in and we interact as well. Yeah, my man, just chilled. Had a chilled time, mentally digested how we played, regurgitated it, tried to spell something out the alphabet of spaghetti that was the performance, ate it again, spewed it up again, watched it again. Oh, what brutal, but thoroughly worth watching the game over and being more sober and seeing it in the TV coverage and dedicating a bit of attention to it, because as you know, I'll do a wee stream at the same time as the game's on. So you're interacting, you're talking to chat, you're on camera, trying to watch the game at the same time. You miss a lot of things. So going back and watching it, picked up on a lot of things. So looking forward to talking about it tonight.
Brilliant, mate. We have got a stacked show for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to just go over the Aston Villa game quickly. I know we had Andy and Kaiser on the post-match show, but we're going to give Jerry an opportunity to have a wee chat about that. We're going to go over the big talking point as well and have our own say on it. And we want you to have your say on it as well about the statement that Celtic put out at lunchtime today. It just always seems to be deja vu with some fans, and we're going to go through that. Andy's got a Who's That player. We're going to go over the happenings in the transfer window that's happened over the past few days as well. There's been a couple of ins and outs and things like that. We've got a conundrum for you again. Andy's favourite segment, and we are going to go over the Motherwell game after that. So, Andy, like I said, my good man, I know that you were on the post-match show. The game finished Aston Villa 4, Celtic 2. I'm sure if you were a neutral watching that game, you loved every single second of it. But as a Celtic fan, we didn't enjoy the first 5 minutes, pal, did we? And let's just have a quick chat, as we always do, about the first half, I would say. Shocking start for Celtic. I know that we missed the Dundee game due to the storm damage and things like that. But as I said on the post-match show, it looked like he sent the players away to Magaluf for a piss-up. They just weren't switched on at all. Well, they caught very short, 33 seconds after the restart for the second goal. And then we eventually got our foot on the ball and came into the game. And 2 brilliant goals, by the way, for Adam Ida. And unbelievably, we got at half-time 2 each, mate. What a half of football.
Aye, and I think the post-match I came across as quite kind of condemning in a way about we should be doing better against teams like Aston Villa. I'd maybe put it across in the wrong way. I think I was definitely proud of the team, the way they came back. Showed a lot of mental resolve there to do that as well. They could have quite easily folded like a red hot Mars bar there, going 2 down after 4 minutes, you know. So I think when you're talking about progression in Europe, I think it's quite evident that they have matured a wee bit. You know, their game management seems to be a wee bit better. I know you can easily go to the final whistle and say, well, they've scored 4 goals against it. Should have been more. Actually missing a penalty and all. And a couple of gilt-edged chances as well. So it could have been along your route, say, the Dortmund result if things kind of didn't. But then you've got to look at us as well. We're no full strength. I think you've got Maida in your team and we're missing Kyogo. If you've got Maida in your team, he's putting him under pressure. The way they were standing back, right, and just waiting for us to attack, and you could see the players were a wee bit kind of wary. Do we go and press him, or they're just going to pick us off? You know, Dyson's going to be on about them. He's going to be on about them. He's going to hassle them. They're not going to have time to do that because he's going to be right up their arse. So I think he was a huge miss for us. I'd love to, and I've seen somebody else saying it as well. I think it was Celtic Fans TV, Paul, on that, saying, I'd love to see us play them at Aston Villa at Celtic Park with a full strength team. Because you know that the thing that annoys me is you've got a Leipzig result in there, a performance and a result in there, you know, because that's the team that's done it, minus Kyogo and Maida, but that's the same team that's done that job there against Leipzig. So, you know, we've got performances there. If we get a Leipzig performance against Villa the other night, it's a totally different game. It is a totally different game. And I understand why teams play different away from homes. I don't quite understand it myself. It's still the same game of football. You're just in a different stadium. It's obviously the mental thing of the fans and stuff like that. But overall, I was delighted with the performance because I think it did show a good bit of maturity coming back. Disappointed with the result. But you've got to look at the players you've got as well. And I called them a kind of mediocre English team. And look, I know they won a European Cup in '82, but other than that, they're not a very successful team. This is all money, and that's what that league is. It's money. It's not about prestige. It's not about history. It's not about the amount of trophies you've won, nor that. It's all money because they wouldn't have players like that if they didn't have the cash to have them. And the manager, you can throw the manager in there as well. Jink, he would be there if they didn't have the money. No chance. He's a very good manager. But I will say this, that boy Rodgers is some player, and I think he's actually a homegrown player as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, Man City was.
Yep. Did they come from Man City?
Aye.
What a player. The guy's exceptional. So they have got some really good players, but overall disappointed with the result. But I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of them.
Good man. Jerry, just talking about that first half, mate. I know you weren't on the post-match show. You were down in Birmingham living at large, my man. Aye, they looked quite frightening, mate, going forward. Villa did. The boys up front looked powerful and fast. As Andy alluded to there, Rodgers and as Watkins, I think the other lad was called, looked fantastic as well. And that's why Arsenal are sniffing about him. Aye, a half of 2 halves, really. First 5 minutes, blown away. Looked like Dortmund all over again. Then we managed to, get the foot on the ball and get back into it. And 2 wonderful strikes for Adam Ida. It was a build-up play for me as well. That was brilliant, especially the second one, the Engels flick. Unbelievable play for Celtic. And it just shows you that, nobody scored against Aston Villa in this campaign, and we managed to get 2 in that first half and 2 brilliant goals, mate.
Aye. Listen, first and foremost, obviously, as I say, I've not watched the game back yet. I got back late last night and had to work a good shift today to try cover a day off, cut a days off. But what I can remember is a few Guinness and red wine in me. So what I do remember a bit is Meader, I thought, was a great game for Celtic. It was good to see him. That was brilliant. Good to see him, 2 cracking goals. But listen, I think we'd Villa before I went down on the bus reading about Villa and that. Lads, 18 games in all competition at home. They've not been beat.
Yeah.
It was always a tall order in the way down. But listen, as soon as you miss CCV, that comes harder again. It does. It's simple. That comes harder for us. We can't afford to go down and play these teams with Meader and CCV and that out the team. I mean, but that's CCV now played about only 50% of the European games. So to me, that's a problem now for us. We can't use I think we need to bring a centre half in now. No somebody for cover. Somebody in with it. Because it's starting to especially in Europe, the big games, we can't go foot him, the big man. But the first half, listen, as Andy says, first 5 minutes, you're thinking it was all Dortmund doing against Scotland, you? The way Aston Villa came out. But for Celtic to come back and get us in at 2 each at half time, by the way, it was fucking well done. It was brilliant. Outstanding. Listen, outstanding forms. But I tell you now, Villa are a good team. They're a top team, Villa. So they're. But I was happy at half time. So I was.
Aye, good man. Kaiser, just we had a look at the starting lineup on the post-match show, and those 3 guys that were missing, they were a massive, massive miss. But Ida certainly filled Kyogo's boots. Yang, for me again, the boy's just an empty jersey, and especially at this level, that was shown once again. We definitely missed Maeda. I thought Trusty had a very good game, if I'm being honest. And we missed Carter Vickers in there for Scales, didn't we, as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think Scales was showing a bit of rust, and as the manager alluded to, eventually went down to a bit of cramp due to his lack of game time. Being dropped out of the squad for Trusty. On the whole, I think we started the first half. We were knocking the ball about so nicely. We just get cut apart and we were shell-shocked. And I think that's what gave me the sort of the ring sting, remembering Dortmund. And by the time I'd finished watching the replay, they were showing me the second goal. I was like, wow, already. While the replay was playing on the coverage, they had reset, hit centre, and Villa had went up and scored again. I was absolutely fuming. I was reeling from the first one and got the second one. Absolutely delighted with the way we fought back into that game. And let's be honest, right? We utterly shocked him. Utterly shocked him. We silenced our crowd. We rattled them. It looked for Celtic to step forward. I think we shocked ourselves. We came out after the second half and just never really pursued it. For me, it had like one of the most competitive draws, probably a night to remember in Europe for all of us. If that game would have finished 3 each or 4 each, something like that, it had that wrote all over it. But as I say, the first half we were just fantastic. The way we cut them apart, as you said yourself, no one's been able to score into Villa. They've been solid. We utterly broke them apart. We tore them apart, and we've done it with our football. Glimmers, mirror images of Celtic that did put Leipzig to the sword and played so well and raised their game. Just didn't bring it in all the time. And you got to point at the players that were missing there and the chemistry that's missing for the squad with CCV being out so late and Maeda being on the suspension. It really affected us. Kyogo's moving as well. How did that affect the squad? How did that affect the camp, training, going into the game? The effects of that. The fact that I think Big Ida was absolutely superb. He took his goals so well. I think that's him turned a corner for us. That's competing at that level, right? What I noticed about it was when I looked at all their players, I was like, these guys are at the absolute peak of physicality. They look like they come in and they report for training every day, and the club's got private dietitians and chefs feeding every one of them like thoroughbred racehorses. They all look absolutely stacked and solid. Like AJ was stacking up beside them, Trusty stacking up beside them, Ida stacking up beside them. Pure physicality. When you're trained to that level, you're absolutely at the peak of your powers. It's your mental capacity, your speed of thought, your ability that really shines through. That's where football is these days. There's no guys rolling at the pub like Paddy McCourt who are gifted by God, because you need the physical makeup to go with it. We do have. I see Paddy behind you there.
Come on now, stop picking on me.
But you get where I'm coming from. It's so competitive nowadays. People, especially youngsters, put so much into it. There's so much information available online. Diets, players who are budding professionals, they're following their course on Instagram. They're taking protein pills. They're taking supplements. They're eating the correct food. Their parents are fully invested in developing them. Look at Dane Murray as well. I know he made the mistake, but look at him. He's an absolute physical specimen. I'm like, I don't care what he does. He just better just get a wee bit better. Just keep giving him the chance until he comes good. But yeah, he's an absolute machine.
Bang on, mate. Bang on. And we're going to go on to that now, Andy, in the second half. My brother sent me a text after the game, and it's something that we never actually spoke about, and he's bang on when he said this. Do you think Brendan was sending a wee message to the board by bringing the young boys on? You know, that's what I've got at my disposal. Or do you think it was, you know, just giving them that run out and that bit of experience? I watched Brendan's press the other day, and he did say about young Murray that he is a specimen, as Kaiser said. He's 6'4", he's got the calmness on the ball, things like that. And you only learn from your mistakes in life, as we all know, at our age, especially. And that's exactly what the boy will do for that. It's a learning experience. And we didn't really have another striker to bring on, so the young boy Cummins had to come on as well, who's yet to sign a new deal. So seeing that he can get on in these sort of circumstances might say to him, I'll give him them. I'll sign a new deal. He used Calmac as an example. Took Calmac to 21. Gone to Notts County and things like that to get into the Celtic team eventually. And on Sunday, he makes his 500th appearance for the club. So he used that as an example. What did you think of his substitutions? The game for me was by then anyway. I don't think all avenues were exhausted and we weren't going to get back into it. But the boy Rodgers just took it to a different level, didn't he, in that second half, mate?
You're bringing guys like Cummings on for the first game for Celtic in the Champions League, in a pretty hostile atmosphere. I don't think he touched the ball. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he never touched the ball once in the time he was on the park. I may be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure. But so, I mean, there's a baptism of fire, and then there's just opportunity just to get him game time, put him into that, just for a bit of experience. I don't know if it's the right thing to do or no. I think you can basically pick up a lot with sitting on the bench in a game like that without being exposed to anything, to a kind of defeat like that. If after them, then what was it? Was it still 3-2 at that point when it came on?
3-2, I think, mate. Aye.
It was 3-2. It was 3-2, and I don't think we really done much in the second half to actually kind of threaten him, mate. Our threat had gone, and then obviously you're bringing Cummins on. He does half. You're putting a young boy in. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I absolutely agree with Murray. He's even the missus says that. What age is that? What I say, I think he's only about 19. When we spoke about it after the game, and says he's some size of boy, man. I says that's the kind of players we need. We need more physicality. Does MD? I know you're talking about
Stephen McManus regen, Andy, on FIFA. He's a regenerating McManus.
Aye. Do you think we missed Starfield? Mm-hmm. If you ever look back at Starfield leaving the club and going, he would be a joke for us, and he get heavy pelters, I know. Starfield get heavy pelters, but he had a really good relationship with CZV. Plus, when it came to losing goals, they had a very good record together as well. And I think you've got a bit better in goals than what they had. Yeah.
Starfield got out for Celtic and made out like an absolute bandit, mate. He took Jacinta with him. We could have sold her to Babe Station for 56 million. I know he's out there and she's getting her Starfield. He's living his best life. I think the qualities that Starfield had, we didn't really recognise. We thought he was a bit of a bomb scale, but he did have that pace. He was absolutely solid, good in a tackle. liable to dive in, give away a wee penalty here and there, especially at that very top level. But as we says, when you're stretching your physicality to the absolute limits, mistakes can happen. And Dane Murray as well.
Aye.
Sorry,
Sorry, mate. Just finishing on the subs. They done absolutely nothing. I didn't actually see the point in it. To be honest with you, it never made any difference whatsoever. It might have, and then obviously Murray being away the kind of making that mistake, it's going to play on him as well. Do you know what I mean? I know he's a young boy and you're going to make mistakes, but I don't know. I don't think it was the wisest thing to do. But
I think Andy, sorry, just to respond to that there, I think samurai swords are forged in fire. They're heated up and then they're beat with a hammer. They're no kissed and cuddled into reality. We're forging weapons of war here. This boy's mentality will be shaped by that. You learn more by one defeat than 1,000 victories. I think taking them in and really putting them in at that and testing them really at the top level. See, now when Dane Murray comes on at a domestic level, I don't think anything's going to daunt him. That's that kind of, you make that mistake at that level once, you beat yourself up about it. But when you go into a lesser level, as in domestic level, you absolutely coast that. But it's like pressure free. So I think that could be the making of him as well.
Aye, you're bang on, mate. You're bang on.
You'd be lucky to even see them get a domestic game. Beating Ross County's 5-0 and even getting the guys on the park. Even Gamer, Cummings and that. To me, you're still trying to win that game. You're taking Niederach, who's having one of the best games. I know he's tired, but sometimes Rodgers, he's going to be cool go all the time. I know the wee man Ross said about him leaving, but fucking getting took after the 65th minute every game. Come on. You want to play up front and you want to play football in your life. I don't give a fuck what level you play. You don't want to took after every game. The guy's maybe got a goal or 2 goals, he's getting took off. He didn't say big either, still chasing the game there. I'd have took Yang off and made back to midfield a bit better, made one up front and let Kuhn back either up, know what I mean?
Aye, if we didn't have wingers, we didn't need to play any wingers. Could I just...
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the only mistake. I think I just didn't even bother with Yang and just went back to the midfield a wee bit better. I don't think we even see these boys again. No, you do that one game and you don't see them again all season. You know, it doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't.
Aye, I think I would have played McCowan instead of Yang. I've seen a few comments there as well saying the same thing. The boy's just an empty jersey for me. He's not doing it in the SPFL. What chances he got to doing it in the Champions League? Let's be honest. You know, we do call it out in this podcast and you know, that's as honest as you can get, I think. Jerry, just going on to the second half, mate. The penalty decision for me was never, ever a penalty, even looking back at it on VAR. Very, very soft. Justice prevailed. Probably the worst penalty ever I've ever seen in my life. It hit Jack and Victor sitting in the park, didn't it, on the heat, on still game. It was horrendous.
God shout, you can get that ball out my fucking garden.
Aye, it was one of them, but they deserved it because justice prevailed. It was never a penalty in a million years. The mistake with the boy at the end, listen, it could have been a lot more. Aston Villa had lots of chances, mate, and I think, I'll be honest with you, I think we got away with one at 4-2.
And Andy was right about the second half. We huffed and puffed the second half, Andy. We didn't really. Yep. Listen, I know the English have got more money than us, but the guy that says, if for some reason, even when we went to England, you're younger at 15, 16, these guys always seem to be stronger than us. They seem to be a wee bit forward, more quicker and stronger for some reason. I don't know. I'm obviously money helps for the best facilities, but they just seem to be. I felt the second half, I don't think we'd done much at all. Just couldn't get going, and I just felt it ran away phase a wee bit. So it did. Scott, it wasn't there. Didn't even do much, I don't think, second half at all. But I remember it, to be fair.
Aye, you don't remember much.
I played in goals for Pollock United, right? And I thought myself was a pretty good keeper. And I was, I know, no bumming myself, but I was pretty good. And me went down to England, I think it was around about Blackpool area, and into competition. And we get hammered 9-0 after this English team. And they were all the same age as us, but see their technical ability, mate. Unbelievable. So you wonder, is it their coaches are just far better coaches, or what is it? This
is what I'm trying to say, Andy. I was doing it at West Brom on Easter holidays at 15 years of age playing with him. The big boy played with Rangers, maybe I told you, Eke, big boy. He was playing with West Brom, he was that size when we were 16. I hadn't seen it before. These guys were just going up and doing they were never knackered or nothing. They were machines. And you're talking about the 1990s. And it just seems to be all the time. They're just physically stronger and what we've been trying out, maybe Celtic to bring in a stronger centre midfielder as well, haven't we? Kind of in that midfield to help.
I'm a type, a physical specimen, but listen, we try to get down that big route with Abelgard. And he just never get a look in at all, and then they got away. So, I mean, I don't know where you go when it comes to that. To try to
as I say, a lot of people might say, well, it's the money gets better, facilities and gets better, but do they put harder work rate into it than us up here in Scotland? Do we? I mean, let's be honest, we all like to play football, but we like to enjoy ourselves as well. Are they dedicated more?
Some ways they, Jerry. Some ways are dedicated, other ones only.
Well, that's it. You know what I mean? That's how after that, I felt coming up in that bus, I said I was never going to drink again, Andy.
That's just coping, isn't that?
Aye. Kaiser, second half, mate. Second half, Kaiser. Dodgy penalty, never a penalty. Justice prevails. Boy gets caught with the ball at the end of the game. You know, Villa deserved their victory. It was, as some people said, was it a dead rubber match? Well, it's one of them, mate. So, what did you think of the second half, mate, yourself?
I thought, as I say, I thought we would have come out and really attacked them, went at them. What I thought to lose for us, I thought it was one of those ties. Thought Brendan was going to have that attitude. Nothing to lose here, let's roll the dice. And then, like Jerry said, and Scotty, one of the two of you said that, I'm sorry lads, I don't remember, but somebody messaged and said, you think Brendan was sending a message to the board there? You think he was showing like, this is the depth of the squad that's available to me? You've sold our top striker. I understand he wanted away. He could have waited till after this game. Then we would have been looking at...
Great point.
We would have been looking at taking off Ida, and Kyogo would have been coming on. And I understand it's probably critical with the arrival of Jota. And I understand since then that the Rennes manager has been sacked. So they're looking for a new manager. Kyogo's over there in a relegation battle. And understand everything that he moved for, why he was so incentivised to move, all about the World Cup. It's the pinnacle for Japanese players to represent their nation. It's what he wants to do. Understand that. I seen how disappointed he was when he didn't go to the last World Cup. He had the look in his eyes there of someone who's, this is never happening again. He didn't announce an international retirement. So it says to me he was going to chase it. He was going to give it whatever he had to do. He's going to crawl through it. He's going to do it. And he did that. I think we could have offered a lot better. I echo the sentiments with other people who have said, us on our game at Paradise, packed with our fans, we would do them. Even given how big a physical element they are. I'm a big physical element, I know. Obviously, fueled by Mars bars and Buckfast. But I also played football, right, with Harmony Row, and we were affiliated through Alex Ferguson, going down to Manchester, playing in Gary Lineker tournament, things like that, competing against guys down there. Firmly, I found very much it was an attitude thing. You're either an alpha or you're not, and it's very much when you're young, football is a world of alphas. Everyone's picking on everyone. People are getting made funny for their boots, their haircut, tripping over the ball. You can't take the heat. Don't go in the kitchen. I could take the heat. I love to dish out a stagging, and I love to take it back because I could laugh at myself. I came from a deprived area, Glasgow, with a deprived family. My father was a career criminal and raised on the streets of the Wine Alley, moved into the middle of Ibrox at 15. I've been through the trenches. I wasn't taking no jip off no plebs down south. I didn't care. They sounded like a couple of members of Oasis. I was in about it. But that's the mentality we need. I expected us to come out and just have that dig. I think that's what a lot of people are looking at and going, we need somebody we dig in there, a player with a bit of bite, somebody who steps up, and when somebody gets kicked to go and they put a shoulder on and they have a word in somebody's ear. like I said in another stream, somebody that charges in and sticks their thumb right in the prison wallet and screams Shabba. Here, have some of that. Shabba. Get that right up your back close. You know what I mean? Boom. Have that. Put a little bit of armpit here. Twist a nipple. Do something. Get involved.
There anywhere, I thought, or where she everything now there, you know.
I think they're manscaping not all Andy for specific reasons. I think that's how Maeda get red carded. He was snatching in the wrong area and kicking at the back of that leg. Didn't see what his hand was doing at the front, did you? But yeah, I thought we could have been a lot better. I thought Brendan could have been a lot more ambitious. It's a roll of the dice. We could have packed to midfield. We didn't have to play with Yang on. We could have played Bernardo and Engels in a deeper role and set Callum McGregor and Hatate free higher up. Left Kuhn just floating in behind the striker. Brought on Palma instead of Ida and played Palma right up top. I played him just in behind. There is so much we could have done, and it's all we're blessed with the benefit of hindsight. So it did make me think Brendan's sending a message here. He wants quality and he wants more of it. He wants 2 or 3 players in. He thinks he should have had them in already. Before Kyogo went out the door, we shouldn't be haggling and bartering over Creedsgarden. We should just have him straight in. They want 14 million. We're getting 10 million for Kyogo. That's 4 million outlay for this player. The peak his ability, how good he looks. He looks like Gary Hooper incarnate. I've watched some videos of him. He looks absolutely fantastic. But lots of players do on YouTube reels. But he looks like a player that picks the ball up mid half, kind of wide, and drifts centrally. He looks like a Brendan Rodgers player. He's just getting that roll all over him. I think Brendan's kind of saying, don't rest on your laurels as well to the board. And he wants us to be saying that as well. He wants us to be looking at that as fans and going, no, we want you to equip for this knockout game. I recognise who we're playing. I recognise it's stacked against us, but I want you to equip for this game. Also realising equipping for this game equips us for next season. The league is in the bag before a ball is kicked, basically, and qualification to next year's Champions League, that prize, that money, that stuff that Peter Lawwell's swimming in right now like Scrooge McDuck, that stuff, we want more of that. We want plenty of that. We want it on tap. We want to be back in the big game. So, I think we should be really pushing the boat out here, really rolling the dice and going for it. And I think Brendan's sending out signals to say, you should be beating the drum. Yous make noise out there. Get the board to roll the dice and take action here. Or they're going to settle for mediocrity and what we've got. But Kieran Tierney's coming in the summer. Fans will cheer up by that point. We'll go out and then it's the pursuit of the treble. Why go out? Why not just roll the dice? You never know. You got to throw punches. It's like a title, a world heavyweight title fight. You can go in there and fight the champion, right? You're going in to fight Mike Tyson. He's absolutely going to murderize any one of us that go in there to fight him. See me when I go in there, I'm giving him a running headbutt. I'm flying headbutting him right to the face. He will never forget the night he took me a square go and utterly murdered me after that. I'd let him throw one punch, and even if he missed, I'd go down. Boom. Out.
Brilliant, mate. Absolutely
Ring a
brilliant.
bell.
So we found out after the game, straight after the game, we were on the post-match that Celtic and Man City would draw either Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. I was hoping for Bayern Munich, if I'm being honest. I think we've got a chance against them at home, at least. It could be 2-0 at Celtic Park and 7-0 away. It could be one of those sort of ties. But we found out, ladies and gentlemen, that we do indeed have Bayern Munich. And there is the fixture confirmation. We are at home on Wednesday, February the 12th, with an 8 p.m. Central kickoff. Is that right, lads? Is that UK time or is that us? Celtic Park time. That'll be Celtic Park time. Celtic Park time, that is, sorry. And away on Tuesday, the 18th of February, Celtic Park time again, 8 o'clock. So that is the fixtures. So there's just one more thing to cover from that Aston Villa game, and it has been the massive talking point that's happened today, ladies and gentlemen. So, as you can see at the top of the screen, at 11:56 a.m. this morning, Celtic had to release this statement. So as a result of the use of pyrotechnics during our match against Borussia Dortmund last year, Celtic Football Club was sanctioned by the UEFA Control, Ethics and Disciplinary Body. The decision meant that not only did the club receive a fine of £20,000, but also that if such behaviour was repeated at a match in the next 2 years, the club would be prevented from selling tickets to supporters for one away match in UEFA club competitions. Unfortunately, the club has received a further disciplinary notice from UEFA following the match against Aston Villa FC on Wednesday evening. The club will obviously make robust representations to UEFA and will make every effort to ensure that our fans can attend our next UEFA Champions League match. However, clearly there is a risk that supporters may not be able to attend. In light of this situation, it is incumbent on the club to make supporters aware of this risk when considering making arrangements for travel until further information is provided by UEFA. Andy, we've had this discussion before, mate. We've seen this. We've spoke about this. It just keeps happening and happening and happening and happening. The fan threw the pyro on the pitch. We've found out it wasn't Jerry, but it's just becoming. It's getting to a stage now where Celtic fans could be missing out on this Bayern Munich game. Let's say, for example, we do take a lead out of Germany. We could be going out there without any fans, which makes a massive difference, as we all know. I want everybody's opinion on this on the panel, everybody's opinion in the comments. It's not the club's fault. The club is doing everything that it can. Brendan said today in his press conference, we can't continue to keep paying fines. Something needs to be done. Do we need to self-police these fans ourselves? Do the older ones in the crowd need to get a grip of these boys and stop them from doing it? It's one individual that's going to cost thousands of people who pay good money, like our Paddy, for example, who goes across to every game from Ireland and things like that, and guys that specifically go to European games. Folk can't book tickets now, can't book hotels. They're going to have to leave it to the last minute now until they find out what's going on. It's just becoming a bit of a shambles. Eventually, the sanctions are going to get worse and worse and worse. For now, it's a one-match European ban away from home for fans. I'm not saying it could lead to a full season of Celtic fans getting banned from European football, but it could happen if this continues. That's the higher scale of the sanctions, I would believe. Andy and everybody, what is your comments on this farce yet again, Andy? We're here talking about it.
We have spoke about this before, and the problem we've now got is that the club and the fans were well warned the last time, and they told what was going to happen. If the same kind of incident happened within a 2-year period, then they would be banned for an away game, and that looked as if that's what's going to happen. Celtic's hands are tied to a certain degree because there's only so much Celtic can do. You would need to actually kind of strip search every single fan that's getting in there to make sure they've not got anything on them, whether it be a bottle of booze or a pyro or whatever. They're going to get in somehow. You could be looking at other fans to police their own fans, but then a lot of people don't want to get involved because they might be looking at one guy holding a pyro, but he's there with about fucking 30 guys, you know what I mean? And it's like, just keep your nose out of this kind of thing. A lot of people don't want involved in that. They just want to be there to watch their team. But the problem with that is the people that are there just to watch their team and abide by the laws, whether you agree with it or not, whether you think pyro should be allowed or no, that's what UEFA said, and you need to stick to it because the club's getting hammered. The club's getting a bad reputation with UEFA, so anything that's happening, they're going to jump down their throats at it because they're thinking that Celtic are just going, every time they get sanctioned with something, get it up you. We're still going to do it. And eventually, this is what I think is going to happen. If this does happen and the away fans are banned, and I feel sorry for the fans that do go to away games, guys like Paul the Tim and all that, right, that seem to get tickets for every single game. But guys that really dedicate their life to watching Celtic, that's all I've got in life. That's what they never really miss a game, and they're kind of missing out because of the actions they won or a few people, which is really unfair. But I think what's going to happen is if Celtic are banned having away fans at say Munich, and I think it will happen. If it continues and it continues to escalate like that with the pyros and stuff, what they're going to do is ban Celtic for Europe. They're going to ban Celtic for Europe. This is where it's going to come down to. So I think, but I don't know what you do. I don't know how you get around about it, but something's got to happen. I mean, they do it in the Scottish game, and there's obviously no sanctions involved there. UEFA's a totally different story. And you might say, all right, you see it all in Europe, different clubs, not that, but they'll be getting sanctions against them and all. It's not just us. But they're serious about it. I think that's quite obvious. They're serious about it. They will hammer the club, and it's very unfortunate that they're going to get hit financially. That's the worst way you can hit Celtic fans is stop them going to watch their team. And that's what they're going to do. So it's got to stop, mate. It's got to stop. And it's going to escalate. It's going to get worse. And like I said, they will end up banning us for entering European competition. That's what they can do.
Aye. It's getting beyond the joke now. I've seen a few comments about the Green Brigade and things like that. Lads, nobody's saying it was MD in the Green Brigade. Nobody on this podcast has said it was MD in the Green Brigade. It could have been MD. It could have been somebody going to their first ever UEFA game steaming, Champions League game steaming, and just thought it was a laugh to fling that on the pitch. We don't know who it was, who it wasn't. We're not blaming any sort of ultra group or anything like that. Nobody's doing any of that on this podcast. We're just saying we've been warned time and time and time again, and it keeps happening. I've spoke about it on previous podcasts. I spoke to Andy in the green room about this. If you want to have your pyro displays and things like that, why not be the best fans in the world outside the stadium? Put on a show outside the stadium and do things like that. Why do it inside the stadium when we're going to get sanctioned? It's just mental to me that Celtic fans would do that to, affect other fans and affect the team. Basically, you're not supporting the team if you're getting fans banned. It's complete madness to me. But like I said, let's go down the panel. Jerry, what is your thoughts on it, pal?
Same as Andy as well. I think the emails and the fines now are they're not doing it anymore, are they? It's the next move is going to not get to away game, with the fans. And by the way, some of that's folks' lives save up to go and watch Celtic away. Sometimes that's as good as watching 10 home games. Getting away in it. It's a camaraderie, everybody all gone, the drinking, the crack, watching Celtic. You can't beat the away games. But listen, I could be your daughter or boy there coming back with a burnt face and a burnt head. Do you know what I mean? It could be your daughter or boy. And that, I think, don't get bragging in Italy. For some reason, Italy, they're allowed that, but is it done in a safe manner? Do they use the same stuff? Or what's for the Italians like to use it? Italian football. So, how, you know what I mean? So, they're obviously using something safely or whatever, a manner. But listen, I can see Andy's point with the stewards as well, Andy. What are they going to do? They're not going to. They're too busy taking the fucking wine gums and Chris off the veins, aren't they? Getting into the game. The stewards. That's not what I mean. But you got to put yourself out there and odds. If steward owns so much money, getting yourself involved with folk, it's a hard one. We've talked about it on here before, haven't we? But it needs to stop. You say, Scott, but you don't know who's doing it. You say that could have been somebody's first game, or was it even a Celtic fan? There's mixed fans everywhere. I'm not sticking up, but there's mixed fans all over the stadium as well. It's just getting a bit. It's the good fans are the ones that are going to get punished. You know that one at football training when the guy was lazy and nobody did the training. The manager would punish everybody with more runs. That's how it works. Unfortunately, everybody gets punished. So I'm going to play strong on the matter. It's going to stop because if folk going to miss it and you can't even book flights now to wait any time they do that, the flights are going to be double the money now. I know fans are going to pay out double the money when they find out when they can go or not. So I just going to stop. Basically going to stop. So I was.
Yeah. Aye, mate. And Kaiser, what's your thoughts on it, my man?
Kyle using pyro into it. Well, I've had this for 2 years now, lads. I put it in the drawer. See, after Hamden, when Ange busted, I put it in the drawer. I was like, put it away, because I'm like a big kid at heart. I'm one of the people who loves to get involved in the atmosphere and that, but he's 110% correct. Bring that on the lead up to the stadium, bring the drums, bring the march, bring the pyro, on the march up the Celtic way, or to whatever other stadium we are going to as an away support. Safety concerns, yeah, I wouldn't like it if a member of my family was burnt, injured, somebody who had lung issues or something was affected by the smoke. I know there is dry pyro and safe pyro, drone displays. I've seen dragons over Chinese cities morphing into aeroplanes. It's all available nowadays, lads. Celtic could do a big thing to help as well. They could organise displays and really not just leave it all in the fans. I heard someone say earlier on, it's 2025, peoples are good, pyro's bad. Pyro's bad, kids. Kids, pyro's bad. But at the end of the day, we don't know who threw the pyro. Reports are it came from corporate section, so it could have been anyone. The lads are 100% correct. I wish UEFA would look at it and go, right, the ultras, the Palestine flag waving, pyro igniting, mask wearing ultras have not been igniting pyro. Let's not punish Celtic for this. Maybe this is one where we could punish the individual. Who knows? It could be a foreign guest, some business guy there took pyro, he's been dafted up, sent in the river, sent in there like a nugget. It could be somebody from Villa, it could be an opposing fan group, somebody who really wants to hurt us and gone, oh, Champions League knockout game, is it? Well, your fans only got it their way. Wow, but you'd think people would be out laying a claim to that. If it was me who done that to Rangers, I'd be on every social media licking a nipple, telling them it was me. But so I think the person who's done it themselves is probably a corporate ticket. They've won it in a raffle, a prize. They've went for the experience of a Premiership match. They're probably from the Villa area. Probably don't even support Aston Villa or Celtic, but they went for the experience, the fans and the culture, and they're a bit of a walloper. They've threw some pyro. I wish common sense would win out, but it's one of those things, isn't it? It's called common sense, but it's not so common. I love the atmosphere it all brings. I love the colour. I love the event. I love the spectacle, especially with the tifos and that all in conjunction. But there is other safer things we can do. There is safer alternatives to the actual pyro as well. I believe it was a classic movie called Full Metal Jacket, where they end up one of the guys in training is eating a donut and everybody else is doing push-ups. It's one of those situations, isn't it? Bayern Munich are getting a big donut and we're all doing push-ups. It's only a matter of time before people in the stands start putting a bar of soap in a sock and taking that to the game with them, and we'll self-police this igniting of pyro. We'll take care of that. But just as I say, it's like the ultras have not ignited any pyro. That's the hardcore element of support. Anyone wants to make a statement, make an example, it's them. They're not doing it. So, like, show a bit of restraint, everybody. Come on. There's got to be an amicable solution.
Bang on. I think Slabber and Caveridge there, I put it up earlier, has came up with the best point I've seen.
I wasn't against it. My whole point was I'm not against pyro, but they're telling you what's going to happen if you do use pyro. Don't fucking do it. It's damaging the club.
Yeah,
we don't
I love the pyro.
Story.
I was just saying, I was just reading it out, mate. I love the pyro and the smoke bombs, but UEFA aren't going to give it in or let it go. That's for sure. You know, they've proved that. I think we should get a buy. Celtic will be playing away with no support. And that's no good for the team. You know, that's what Brendan's basically said. When we got the first goal back, that's when the pyro was flung on the pitch. And Brendan even said, he was like, it stopped our momentum. You know, we were going to go for the jugular then and go after them, and it stopped the game and things like that as well. So it's different effects.
Where comes from, by the way?
What?
Does anyone know where Sheena comes from? Skull says Sheena for Clark.
Is this a bonus point?
I'm just laying in the foundations for how shit I'm going to beat the quiz and that later. Like, no, I don't know.
See at the end, Gina for cock. I just caught it at the end, cock.
Well, funny you should say that, lads, because it's that time.
There we go.
We're going to change it up a wee bit and stop with the negativity in case we get the haters on again. Who's that player? Andy,
Yes.
take it away, my good man.
Yes, so I've got 3 players here, okay? You ready, Jerry?
Yes. How just Jerry?
Kaiser, are you ready as well, mate?
Pen and paper, mate, but it's a blue pen. Don't hold that against me, right?
Oh,
He's ready. He's been ready for 9 o'clock today.
Good pen, mate.
Been Scrabble now.
Okay, Scotty, you all right to go? Aye.
aye, mate, go for it.
Get your cranes not ready, aye.
All good to go.
Right, here is player number 1.
It's got to be in it. What is it?
Okay. Okay, let's go with you first, mate.
I thought it was real, but then I've changed it there just last second to a water.
Oh no.
Is it real?
I'm sticking to Rio Atati. I'll tell you one thing, by the way, boys, after I've been down there for a couple of days, I can't get the fucking Atati and Jota tune out my fucking head.
Guys, who have you got?
That's 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in there, my man. That's it. It's just knocking around. Yeah, I went for a holy water. I went for a water. I thought it was Hatate at first. Very similar build in the hair.
Yeah.
I noticed it, the bit of the headband, and I thought that's holy water.
I'll stick with Atati.
Water.
What was players who was at the club?
Aye, well, I know. That's I
That's
know.
shite.
I know. Yes.
Check the VAR. Check the VAR. Check.
Wow.
Who has smashed it at Birmingham City? So
I
By the way, I did call it at the start of the season. Remember, I said he'd be the player of the season in that league.
yeah, a guy we could have done with the other night actually. So Scotty, you get that right. Jerry, you got it wrong. Kaiser, you got it right with your blue pen, which is pretty unbelievable.
1 match podcast ban for the blue pen.
Here is player number 2.
Oh.
Cheers, Craig. Good man.
CCTV, man. Fucking hell, man.
Fucking struggling here, lads.
I think it's easy.
I look at strip, by the way.
Try to look at the fucking the number on his shots.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Answers.
I haven't even got none. I'll tell
Guys,
you,
here you
I
go.
know I love women, but he's just on 5 on them.
Guys,
Yeah.
who you got, mate?
I went for a Beaton.
Vito. Oh, impressive.
Just looking at the build and the size and the shape.
So who you got?
I went for Tamzidane, Rogic.
Rogic.
Good
Jerry,
big
who
time
you
as well.
0.
Just say somebody.
Yeah, fucking. Own Art Deacon.
Musadam Belly.
You weren't too far away, mate. You weren't too far away.
See what I did?
There was a
Rogic, the size like that, man.
Rogic. Well done, Scotty.
Well
That's
done, Scott.
2 in a row you've got, mate.
Did I get it up doing boomerang? Did I get it for that?
Here's the third and final player, okay?
Got to be.
Look at that.
Got to be.
Aye.
Got to be.
Look at
What game, Jack?
that. Oh, no,
I think that's
that.
Seville, isn't it? That's Seville.
Oh, no, is that?
What?
That's...
I know if I don't know who it was.
I've got it, man. I've got to have this one, surely.
Right, Jerry, let's start with you first.
I thought it was a big Belgium, big right back. Wasn't it?
What's his
Big
name?
Jews, it? What? What's his name? Big Jews, wasn't it? It was a right back then, what's about?
Just
Just, big Jews. I put it down. Sir.
guys,
Yeah, I went for Big Sutton.
something.
Actually, Pearson to start there.
Big
Went
Juice
for-
out the house.
Just,
Big
That's
just
what
for
I
Harren.
aye.
The player was.
Yes, I
Juice.
got that.
Big Juice
Ah,
lives
so
out
it's
your house.
It was a strip again. I was actually thinking it was Pearson at first there.
I thought he looked a bit like Sutton the way he was standing there as well.
Big Juice, man.
Full figure.
Captain, big player.
So, Scotty, you won that by, you've got 3. You get all 3. Jerry, you get 1. And Kaiser,
Yeah.
you get 1. So, well done, guys.
I lost one. I lost one for the
See,
blue pen,
Andy,
Jerry.
it's because when you do Andy, I make sure I'm last time, and I do it, you do the same for me.
It's nice.
Andy, thank you very much for that,
Cheers,
mate.
Andy, boy.
That was Who's That Player. So,
Cheers, Andy.
The comments. Did people get in the comments?
go for it, mate. Have a wee look. We had to switch them off,
Yes.
unfortunately.
One for Pearson.
Big Juice. I thought it was Pearson at first, then I put down Big Juice.
What else is up there? Aye, just Chris Fraser's got just. Kenny Miller? No quite. Darryl Muggleton? Aye, close, but right. Aye, well done.
Defo Seville. Was that Seville? Aye, was it Seville?
Aye, that's the final, yes.
I thought it was with the badge on the side,
Badge.
mate. I thought it
And
was.
the hanging heat, that's a
There as well.
Yeah, that's what
It's
gave it
cool.
away. That's what gave it away for me, that did.
Yeah.
Right, lads. So thank you very much for that, Andy. We are going to move on
Yes,
and
Andy.
have a brief conversation about the transfer window, the ins and outs the past couple of days. We've got a little bit of an announcement for you as well, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it. On Monday night, Kaiser, Jerry, and hopefully our Andy will jump on for you at 7 p.m. on Monday night to cover the January transfer window. We're hoping that Celtic will get their business done before then, obviously. But if not, the guys will be on between 7 and roughly about 9 o'clock. And what Kaiser is going to do as well, kindly for us, is jump on for the last hour for a wee bit of excitement. So from 11 till 12, their Kaiser will jump on and get the last of the transfer window. So let's see what's been happening then, lads, the past couple of days. There's been some news coming out of Arsenal about KT. Brendan confirmed, obviously, that he has signed a pre-contract deal, but it looks like Arteta's not going to let him go. There could be some sort of movement there. Beforehand, we've been linked with the boy from Manchester United, Tyrell, is it Malacia, his name is, the boy? He's been the one strongly linked to come in if we can't get a deal over the line for KT. There's also been a £4.6 million bid rejected, apparently, for Ojasastar or something like that, the boy, the winger, Sondre, the boy from Norway. That's been rejected, but we think that's going to get done and over the line over the next few days as well. And obviously, the striker, Matthias Kitsgarden, looks like we'll be getting him in the door as well. One outgoing, well, 2 outgoings if you want to count Valle. Valle is away back to Barcelona, and it looks like he's signed for Como. And just coming at the club basically today was that Olympiacos are going to be signing Luis Palma on a loan to buy deal. I've seen a few comments saying once they realise how shite he is, we'll get him back in the summer. But listen, the boy's had a bit of a tough time recently. We need to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. You know, his personal life it can affect your work, as we all know sometimes. And the boys had a hard time, so let's not be too harsh on them. And we wish him all the best back in Greece. So Andy, we'll come to you first, mate. Just having a wee look at those sort of guys I've just mentioned. How have you seen it the past couple of days? And I don't want to get into it too much because, you know, you guys are jumping on Monday night, but do you see Celtic getting these deals over the line? And you know, what are you thinking of the boys that have left the club as well?
Well, but it looks like Palmer's out, so that's a good move. And it is unfortunate. He's not had a great time, but he's shite, mate. Let's be honest. There's no two ways about it. He's just not good enough to be here. He's certainly not good enough for the Champions League. We need better than that. So he's better out the door than taking up an empty shirt, put it that way. And that number that he's got as well, he certainly doesn't deserve to have that in his back. When it comes to Tierney, disappointed that he's not coming because I think we need him. We've got a player there who definitely looks like he's leaving Taylor. Not that he hasn't committed. He is committed to. You can't say that. You can't say he's down tools. The boy puts in 100% effort in every game. But we need better. And KT is a better player. Ideally, we'd like to get him in the now because I think we need him. We're very short when it comes there now because Value's away back. Another strange one for me. A player in loan and then just at a time when you really need him because the player you're intending on isn't coming to the summer. You're having to then draft another 6-month loan with a 6-month loan for a player to cover that position. It's a bit of a shambles when you think about it. Arsenal, I think, I don't think they're going to sparingly use Tierney as in a sub to come on now and again. They're not seriously going to use him. It's a fuck you to Celtic. We have paid you 25 million for this player and you're going to get him back for nothing, then we'll make sure that you're not getting him back when you really need him. That's the way I see it. We need a striker. I think there's absolutely no doubt about it. You can't lose a player like Kyogo and his quality and his movement and all that and his goals and no miss him. And as well as he does done to come in. And just when you were touching on the Villa game that they hadn't lost a goal in the Champions League at home, which is true. But a guy who's went and scored 2 goals at their place who hadn't scored for 13 games. And he scores 2 belters. So we know he does got that in his locker. He hasn't showed it often enough. Maybe this will change him, maybe this will get it. But did you notice when he scored 2 goals, he looked fucking raging. But he didn't celebrate. It was just like, I don't know, it was pretty strange to me. It didn't even look like relief that he had scored. It was just like as if he was angry with himself, as if this should have came a long, long time ago for me. And this is me just getting the rewards now. I think he's definitely a player. Listen, we spent 9 million on him. You're not going to let him walk out the door. He's got more to give Celtic, but we need more than him. We need a different aspect, a different type of player that along the lines of Kyogo as well. Maybe not quite like him, but we need something different. If somebody's going to come on, they're going to give you something different in the game. Not much of the same. So I don't know much about, is it Kitzgarden? I don't know much about him. I've not seen much of him, but for a bit of fair, he looks a good player. The other boy, I don't know anything about Mato. What's his name again? Is he Norwegian?
Aye. Don't make me try and pronounce it again. Sondre Orjasaster, I don't know. Sister, I'm not sure.
He's getting called Shuggy, mate. That's what he's getting called.
Like Davy, Shuggy and Jim.
So I think they've been a bit lax when you think about it. You can't blame it. You can't say we've not getting money. We've got money. So what's the scouting teams doing? What are they doing? What's the recruiters doing? You know, they need to be on the ball. They know that Taylor's contract's running out. And I don't care how good Taylor's been or how committed he is. If you've got somebody that's wanting to come in and play for the club, I would drop Taylor like that. Drop him like that and put somebody in that wants to play. As much as he is when he does play, he's not committed to playing for our club. So his eyes are elsewhere. Get somebody in that wants to be here. I think, you know, we try to keep that team together, that team spirit. And I want players that want to come and play for Celtic. You know, somebody that's got their eyes elsewhere. And that comes down to Kyogo as well, as much as highly rated he is. You know, Brendan's talking about that he's been in the pipeline for months. Somebody should have been lined up in that case, because especially whether they thought he was going to go in the transfer window in January is irrelevant. He was planning and going, but there was a chance it was going to happen. Something should have been ready to go. Yeah. We should be left in this position with the transfer window ready to shut, and we're still not getting MD. He should have been sold without a replacement in place, put it that way.
Nah, you're bang on, Andy. You're absolutely bang on with that, and that's what I was going to say to you, Jerry. Andy's made a great point there. we've let a left back and a striker go, and we haven't got 2 in the building. This is typical Celtic, mate. It's the 31st of January here, and these guys have been let go without replacements even in the building yet. And we could finish this transfer window without another left back and without another striker, which would be criminal if that were the case. What do you think of the boys that have been coming in, the boys that have left, and just your overall thoughts on the transfer window the past few days? Do you see Celtic getting these deals over the line, mate?
I think they've got to get Matthias Kisgarden. They've got to get him out. Doesn't matter what it takes. If it is going to be, Kaiser mentioned maybe 14, Kaiser, is it? Is that million? Maybe they're talking about for that.
I about 14
maybe
million.
10, hopefully settle on the 10 and it's just a straight swap with Kyogo. He's what I've read about him. He's good feet, balanced, tacks, wins balls, quite stoky, quite wee, but cracking player. So he's got to get in that door. I'm just thinking about the one with KT, Andy. I know Arsenal's maybe hanging, but you're asking to gear up maybe 6 months. Much would he earn in 6 months, the next 6 months? KT. Then that's him going on to obviously a lesser wage at Celtic for the rest of his life.
Well, it's only
I know he's made a lot of money.
Something like 120 grand a week. He certainly ain't earning that. I mean,
somebody could do a quick math saying he's losing out in 2.5 million, 3 million wages between now and June the 30th.
I know, but look, Jerry, it's suppose if Celtic having to get cash.
No, they'll know.
That for the rest. They're getting them for $4, they've sold them for 25 million.
Which region you think they're going to pay him? But you know what I mean? I don't know. Just maybe he's not pushing for as much as himself, seeing out his contract. You know what I mean? We need him out.
He's getting, well, put it this way, Jerry, right? He's earning all sorts of money. I'm pretty sure he could go to a club and get 120 grand a week.
Easy.
Easy. Already. What's another 6 months going to do? Celtic could quite easily weigh him up for that, or at least the majority.
Well, I think so. I think there was some kind of make sure we'll give you something to get together now. Depends on the pay for him. I don't know if Celtic's pushing it as much either. I don't know, you know what I mean? They're happy just to see the Bayern game out. That's it. And the league's ready won. I must have kind of board's attitude in it as well. So it is on the tier.
He'll be getting a big signing-on fee as well. You know, it's not as if they're you know, they'll need to pay the big dough to get me actually sign. So although there's no transfer fee involved, he'll be getting a hefty sign-on for that.
As I say, I just think the main man is going to be, and I'll still say a centre half and a centre midfielder. We're not even linked to a centre midfielder at all. I mean, I've not even heard nothing. Whispers. Obviously, the centre half as well. I'm not happy with big, obviously CCV missing out in 50% of the big games. We can't skills get in there with trust days. No, I know he's done well with Atlanta, but there's no much kind of about really, bar the Danish boy and the winger for Saberburg or something.
Yeah.
So there's no much getting in, but I think they've got to get that Danish boy in, striker. They must get him in.
It's got to be done,
it takes to get him in, Scott.
I think if Lennon Miller was fit, he might have been one that we possibly could have brought in this window. I think that's a boy that we should still be going to get with 18 months left in his deal. For me, that's a boy we should definitely be snapping up. That hasn't really been mentioned because he's been injured this window. So hopefully we can still maybe get something done there. Let's see what happens. So Kaiser, just the guys there that I mentioned, mate, in the transfer window. I know you guys are going to go through it on Monday night extensively. Mm-hmm. Just the ones that have happened over the past couple of days. Palmer leaving, KT getting the KB from Arsenal by the looks of things. And just the rejected bid for the winger and still no striker. Talk us through it, mate.
Mm-hmm. I see that with Palmer going out the door. I think we will bring in this other winger as well. Also help strengthening back up. I think he plays on both wings. I don't think he just covers one wing, so he can come in and cover both. Not at the same time, obviously. He's not omnipresent, but we can use him for cover across the field. I think we'll get that one done. I know the bid was rejected for $4.5 million, I believe the bid was we went in with. Definitely the Kritzgarden as well. I can see he's getting that one pushed over the line. It is very indicative of the board dragging their feet and like taking us right down to the wire the last couple of days. As we've all said, as we're all thinking, I hope Arteta's next shite's a hedgehog or a cactus. He's keeping Kieran Tierney there, but at the end of the day, Kieran Tierney's going to be getting paid great money. Arsenal are still in the Champions League. They could see us as a competing force in the Champions League. They can also be saying to Kieran Tierney, chances are Celtic are going to go out in this knock-off tie. You'd say, even being kind, it's 80-20 that Celtic are going to go out over the tour. We would need you at this very high level of football a little bit more than them. Maybe stay here, serve your time out, finish your time, collect your wages, understanding that Celtic are buying you back, well, getting you back for free, and the outlay that they have given, buying him, paying his wages. When he was injured, he must have some loyalty there as well. He must have. He's got that about his personality. It's his makeup. So I'm not holding it against Kieran Tierney not being up the road. What is he going to do? Stamp his feet, be injured? Arteta doesn't want to let him go. He doesn't want to let him go. There's nothing we can do about it. He's definitely our player in the summer, so I'm delighted about that. I would hope we would bring in someone like Penrice from Hearts, bring him in at left back, just have that solid cover there and start phasing Greg Taylor out of the squad altogether, knowing that he's not going to sign a new deal or hang around. Yeah. Like you said yourself, bringing Miller in, that's a no-brainer for me as well. Yeah, I know he is like suffering an injury just now, I believe. But bringing him in is an absolute no-brainer. You snap him up and you have that about the squad, even if he's there. Not necessarily for the knockout time, things like that, but you're crossing the T's, dotting the I's, you're ensuring midfield stability and security. We're basically not letting another Billy Gilmore slip through the cracks. Let's not let that happen. Let's get that sewed up. And I do think, like Jerry said himself, I would love to see he's being linked by midfielder of prowess, maybe spending another 10 million in a centre-back. I would love to see Celtic just go out and just make that our range now. What used to be 5 million was your shopping basket. Now we're up to 10, 11, 12 million, and that's the foundation of players we look at between the ages of 19 to 22, and within that range, and meeting certain categories of performance and mental makeup, physical makeup. We've got the ability to do that nowadays, so I really hope we get it pushed through. I hope the board show a bit of ambition, look at how much money we're making, how much money we're still going to make. It's not like we're buying these players and they're going nowhere. Every player that's coming in and out the door right now, we're making money on, or we're recovering money on them at least. There's still more to go out the door as well. I don't know what's going to happen with Kwon, players like that who are still around the club. We've certainly trimmed the fat right down. Brendan's structured that wage bill right down. So you need to go back to manager. Look at what he's done so far. Every player he's brought in, everyone he's pointed at, he's identified, he's insisted upon. They're shining for us at the highest stage and the highest level. They're playing really well. So you got to back your manager and trust him and go with his choices. I'd be looking for the board. I'm looking for the guy, as I said, guys in the chat, I'm looking for that guy who shouted at Peter Lawwell, just spend the fucking money. I've got another mission for you, mate, within the next 3 days.
Did they call him an arsehole?
Nice. Yeah, also spending money.
Poor Peter. So make sure you join the lads at 7 o'clock on Monday night. Like I said, it's the only place to spend your transfer window, your Celtic transfer window, with Kaiser, Jerry, and hopefully Randy on Monday night. So make sure you join the lads. Thank you very much for that, ladies and gentlemen, for the contribution. And let's hope Brendan can get these players in. So moving forward, it's now Andy's favourite part of the show.
Congratulations, Jerry.
Shame I was going to say, I forgot to say, lads, I wish the Green Brigade would get rid of that fucking megaphone. Every time somebody grabs that, they leave, can't they? Or see all the players that get that megaphone, they'll fucking end up leaving. So
I wish you could take it.
Get that megaphone to fuck.
It's a jinx. It's a jinx. Neil, welcome from New Zealand, mate. It's great to see you. We're getting views from all around the world, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 200 watching us at the minute. So if this is your first time watching us, please like, share, subscribe. We are absolutely flying as a podcast. So thank you very much for all your contributions. Like I said, it's now conundrum time. I have got 6 for you this evening, 5 and hopefully a tiebreaker. If not, we'll just do the full 6. Why not? We have got Motherwell at the weekend. So you know how it goes, lads. We've got 6 ex-Celtic and Motherwell players. And because Kaiser's new to the podcast, I'll just remind you, mate, they start off easy and it gets harder as you go along.
They start off hard for me, my man. Stop rubbing it in.
So, another thing as well, our Kaiser's dyslexic, so no slagging them in the comments. Please just save all that for Andy as ever as well. So,
flag away. and I always say, I was waiting in the queue to heaven when they were sending me down, and I was picking the categories, and I didn't pick that spelling box. I didn't think I would need that. I was like, you don't need that. You don't need spelling. So that's I'm nerf. That's my nerf. He's so funny. Batter in.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you flick the comments off as well, lads? No cheating. So first one up for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is null blocked. Null blocked. Your 30 seconds start now. No blocked. Andy, who do you have?
You start easy. I've got no chance, man. Nah, mate.
Jenny.
Turnbull, mate. See it?
Turnbull.
Fuck's sake.
Kaiser.
Turnbull. I need to write your letters down as well, guys. That's the only way I can do it. I'm sorry if that puts anybody off, but I need to see them in front of me.
It is our Turnbull. 1 each for Jerry and Kaiser. Neil Platt for our Andy. And second up is Anels. Anels. Your 30 seconds start now. Else. So we'll come to you first this time, Jerry.
Nah.
Kaiser.
Slain.
Slain. Andy.
I got that as well, and I thought it was wrong, mate, because I was at the play for Motherwell, but he did, didn't he?
I did.
And ladies and gentlemen, the Amsterdam legend himself actually played 13 minutes for Celtic. So he did. So it is the Dutch legend himself, Paul Slane. And if you know what I'm talking about there. Yes. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is very simple. RC Claim. RC Claim. Your 30 seconds start now. RC claim. I'm expecting you all to get this one. Kaiser, you're up first.
I did not, guys. I just mental blank there. So sorry, lads.
No worries at all, mate. No worries at all. Andy?
It was Chalky.
Brian McClare. And
Brian McClare.
Jerry?
McClare.
Brian McClare. It was indeed Chalky. Brian McClare, and our Jerry has pulled it back to draw level with our Kaiser, with Andy still one behind. Well done, Jerry. Well done, Andy. Next up is the real WK. The real WK. Your 30 seconds start now. Real WK, and we're back to yourself, Andy. Who have you got?
I've got the soup taker Walker.
Andy Walker. Jerry?
Aye, Andy Walker.
And Kaiser?
Yeah, Walker.
Walker. So our Jerry and Kaiser still on the same points, with Andy one behind. It was the other Andy, Andy Walker, who we found out last week for Jerry was actually the top goal scorer on the centenary season, and I didn't even know that. Quite an incredible. How many goals was it again, Jerry? Can you mind?
32 goals.
32 goals.
32 or 36 goals, is it?
And I think a lot of people thought it was McAvenny, but he came later, didn't he? And it was just so fair dues, you know, what a phenomenal season he had for that iconic season in Celtic's history. So next up, your fifth conundrum of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, is El London. El London. A wee bit of Spanish in there for you. Your 30 seconds start. El London. Jerry, who do you have, sir?
Phil O'Donnell, mate.
Phil O'Donnell. Kaiser?
Phil O'Donnell.
Yeah, Phil O'Donnell as well, my man.
He's
And
straight away, isn't he?
Aye, God bless him, Phil O'Donnell.
Yeah. God rest him indeed. Far too young. It was our Phil O'Donnell. So we do need this tiebreaker after all. Jerry and Kaiser are on level points. So let's see how he's got on with this one. Your final conundrum of the evening is Arse Nop. Arse Nop. Your 30 seconds start now. Arsenal. Kaiser, I'm going to come to you first, mate. Who do you have?
Oh, I drew a blank on that one, lads. Aye, arse nut. It just stuck in my head. Arse in the head. God.
Well, I'm going to come to Andy then. Andy, who do you have?
I went for Pearson. And the
Yes.
reason why I went for Pearson, not just because of the letters, because it was mentioned when I had that, somebody mentioned
I
it.
mentioned it.
Aye.
That's
And
me.
for some reason, aye.
So for tonight's title, Jerry, who do you have?
Pearson, lad. Pearson.
Oh,
Well done, Jerry. Well done.
And mate,
Jerry
There you go, boys.
takes the Conundrum title because Paddy isn't here tonight, as you can
Aye,
see.
well, Scotland. Paddy, thanks for that, pal. Cheers. He's here.
Jerry's
Paddy's a night off.
victory.
Everybody else
Paddy's here.
Paddy's
He's an
right
element of
off
humility,
because
that, I guess.
he's brassoing all his titles up. You see, that's what he's doing. He's brassoing up all his titles.
See, the thing is, mate, see if you never said Motherwell, Celtic Motherwell, I would struggle.
Aye, I know.
That helps, doesn't it? I think we done the first couple, and we didn't know just Celtic players, and I think I give it 1, 2.
Mm-hmm.
We get a wee bit of helping hand. Our Michelle there's wished you all the best, Jerry. And by the way, it's good to see your Michelle in the comments. By the way, she had a terrible accident. I think it was maybe over a week ago now. And she is resting up at home with a back brace on, and it could have been a lot worse for her, a few broken bones and stuff like that. I spoke to her the day through Messenger, and she is resting up, but it's great to see you in the comments, Michelle. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was... So it leaves us one last thing to talk about then, and that is the fixtures for this weekend. Dundee are at home to Heart of Midlothian. Hibs are at home to the free-falling Aberdeen. St Mirren are at home to St Johnstone. Kilmarnock are at home to Dundee United. And then on Sunday, the big one, Motherwell, managerless Motherwell, which we'll have a quick chat about as well, are at home to Celtic, and the Rangers are at home to Ross County. Gents, let's just have a quick chat about Stuart Kettlewell. As we can see, the SPFL table, Motherwell are doing really, really well. They're sitting 5th in the league. The guy, Andy, has had to resign from his position due to abuse directed at himself and his family and things like that, and he's gave it a bye. You know, I think the guy's only 40-year-old, and to receive that sort of level of abuse when they're doing so well for me is absolutely disgusting at any level, whether they're doing well or no. It means nothing. What's your thoughts on that whole situation there, pal?
I'd like to know what he's getting abuse for a start. Abuse about what? Why? Who's it for? If it's for their ultras, then I wouldn't be too worried, because they turn up at games where they still get their school uniform on, so that's no anything to worry about with their ultras mob. The reason why they abuse him, I don't know. What do they want out the guy? You know, they're sitting fifth, they're doing all right, they play half decent football, they're a very hard team to beat at times, all right, they have their bad results like any other team. God, look at Aberdeen, look how well they were doing at the start of the season. They're in absolute freefall. It's a strange one for me. I actually couldn't believe it when they said that he's resigned and the reasons why, and I obviously looking at the table when they're going, well, why is he getting abuse? It's just, well, listen, you're getting threats to your house and threats against your family. You've got young kids now, they can't even go to the games anymore and stuff, and I don't know why it is, but they need to find out who these people are and ban them for the stadium, ban them for any stadium, going to any stadium. It's just totally out of order. The guy's doing his job and doing it pretty well by all accounts. It's just a strange one for me, but listen, it's like MD else, if they're getting threats, direct threats, you got a young family, no job's worth it, is it? Even putting up with it, if you think it's a serious threat or no, who needs a hassle?
Aye, shocking, mate, absolutely shocking. And Jerry, ex-Celtic football manager, championship manager legend Mark Fotheringham has been linked with the job, astoundingly for me. Apparently he's a good young coach, but barring that, the abuse directed at Stuart Kettlewell is disgusting, mate, innit? I don't want to see it.
That's just taking it to a different level, isn't it? Imagine even watching your boy playing football or your family member. I mean, abuse now for some of the folk, it's a bit over the top, isn't it? I mean, just it's a bit over the top. So as families gone there to watch their dad managing a team, and as you say, what does Motherwell fans, what's the realistic do they want after this guy? I mean, surely the top 6, there's no money. They work on, the guy's using the best of his ability and resources, whatever he's got. You're up against Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen. Look at Aberdeen with the money they're spending.
Mhm.
I mean, and I just don't get where, if you start getting personal stuff, it's not fair. It's not fair on Andy. And the family sitting listening to that. It's a bit over the top, but
Absolutely disgusting. And Kaiser, just a quick word. I know this is a Celtic podcast and we might have some people saying what we're talking about Stuart Kettlewell for, but there are next opponents. You know, they're not got a manager at the minute. Pretty disgusting what the guys went through. He's running about the same age as us, you know. It's disgusting, mate, and the need for it in this day and age.
Look, I've got teenage daughter, teenage son myself. You can see my son there. He's getting that fridge behind us right now. He's giving it you see him coming through in the light. Your children under pressure in school, it's enough. It's a different world nowadays. There's bullying, they take videos of it. It doesn't end at the school gates. It follows you home. It follows you everywhere. For youngsters nowadays, it's so hard. So I can understand them making the decision to remove his family for that situation because of his job. Jealousy is a terrible thing. They just don't let people live their life. Especially youngsters can be so cruel. To show that it's affected you and remove yourself for a position, maybe he thinks he can just take a job somewhere else and have completely none of that. Just be relieved of that pressure, as you said yourself, doing a very good job. Yeah. Motherwell's always been a club synonymous with producing good young talent that let them thrive. Well, we were talking about Miller earlier on, another young player that we're talking about going for, who's developed there. So quite clearly, they've got very good facilities, good academy. They help players develop. He was doing a great job there, in my opinion. I don't understand why he's getting criticism or his family is outside of jealousy and petty bullying at school. But it can certainly be serious enough for you to just move job when it comes to your family's happiness. Family first. I'm sure these are all the same lads.
Aye, I know Steve Clark called it out. I remember it was quite a big thing that he said. He's for doing mine and Jerry's way, doing the 3 Tuns there in Ayrshire. And he said he was delighted to get his kids away from the sectarianism on the west coast of Scotland. He actually called it out and said it, after the Rangers fans were giving him abuse when he was the Kilmarnock manager, it was at the time. Kilmarnock beat them and he got a torrid time, and he said that's why he went to Chelsea, to get away from it all. And aye, it does affect people in different ways. And if he felt that it was affecting his family that bad that he had to take a step away, then fair dues to him. Fair dues to you, Stuart Kettlewell, and we hope to see you back in football very soon. A good young coach. You're hopefully not wasted anyway. So, Andy, moving on to the actual game. Looks like Cameron Carter-Vickers is going to be back. It looks like Jota is going to be in the squad, but he's not football fit, as Brendan said. So we expect to see Jota at least on the bench and probably getting 15, 20 minutes towards the end for a wee cameo. Give us your predicted starting 11. How do you see the game going? And what is your score prediction, my good man?
I'll start with the team. Did we mention that Schmeichel wasn't at training today? And there was talk of him being injured, possibly injured, but apparently he just needs a wee rest because he's getting old.
I think he'll be all right.
Aye. I wouldn't be too worried about that anyway. I think I'd be more worried if we just, it was only Bain that we had available, but we've got Sinisolo, who's the goalkeeper for his country, for Finland. So, that guy's going to have to get used at some point. But anyway, he's not going to get used because Casper's going to be starting. AJ, Carter-Vickers, Trusty, Taylor. I think he might go with... I think he'll go with Cal McMillan and Engels to start. It's going to go with Maeda, Kuhn and Ida. And Jota will get on. He's going to need some game time. Jota will definitely get on at some point. Got to get the game legs into him again. He's in the gym building himself up again as well. Look as if he needs a bit of beef put on him. A bit of physicality. But Jota's going to need the game time to get him up to speed. It's going to take a few games for that to happen. Till we see the fingers crossed that the Jota that we had before he left. A bit of patience is going to be required for Jota. But I'm glad that we did get the 2 goals because I fancy him to get another 2. I think I'm going to go with 3-0 Celtic. So I'll go with Kuhn and Ida with 2 goals.
Good man, good man. Jerry, what's your predicted starting 11 and how do you see the game going, mate? And what's your score as well?
Smike was, but Johnston, Trusty, CCV, Taylor. I'm going with McCowan, McGregor, Natati, with Kuhn, Ida, and Mida. So much got. Motherwell's always a tricky wee place, isn't it? They always give you a good game up there, tough.
Yeah.
And the only thing that worries me is coming off the back of the European game again, isn't it? To the high, getting back to the bread and butter. So it is. So that and Motherwell maybe getting somebody, I don't know who's taking the game tomorrow and Sunday. Do you know?
Stevie Friel, I think.
Stevie, sometimes you get that wee 2 or 3 game bounce. No, and somebody comes in. That's the only thing. But I still Celtic play their game are too strong. Simple. I fancy 3-1. I'm going to go with 3-1 for the game. Sommer.
Good man, good man. And Kaiser, here's a wee curveball for you. Do you think this would be a game where you could fling young Dane Murray in beside a Carter Vickers? Maybe that's an option, or as people have said as well, get Taylor out the team now and maybe bring the young boys in, Montgomery, somebody like that into the left back position. Is this a game where you try that out? You know, Motherwell, no manager. We think Lennon Miller's still sort of injured. How do you see Celtic starting the game, mate? The starting 11. How do you see the game going, and what's your score prediction?
Yeah, I see he's lining up strong, like the guys have alluded to there themselves. Casper, AJ, CCV, Trusty, Taylor, midfield of Engels, Callum, and McCowan, I hope to see. Maeda coming right back in there, of course, not on a ban domestically, just in Europe. So Maeda right back in. Up front, Ida, just rewarding him for his fantastic performance there in Europe. Hopefully we can keep him on the goals. Hopefully he's found that vein of form now. We can keep him in there. And Kuhn on the right. I see us playing really well. I see he's walking away here 5-0 winners. I don't see them really. Nothing's secured for Motherwell right now. They're in a little state of flux, a little state of turmoil. Sometimes they can come out and perform for the new manager. They'll be tough. They'll be well set up. They'll be well disciplined because the last manager just walked out the door, and that's the way he would have been setting them up. So they'll be running business as usual for them. Jota definitely coming on. Maybe the last 20 minutes, just start building up that game time. He did look like he had just walked off the set of the 2025 remake of Midnight Express. He's very skinny. He needs to get a couple of Jota on the chicken wings. I seen somebody right in chat there as well. That's perfect. Jota on the buffalo wings. Build him up a wee bit, bulk him up, build up his confidence as a support, allow us to receive him back. Hopefully we're coasting in the game by that point. I'd love to see Dane Murray come on as well, like I hinted to earlier on, lads. I know he made that mistake right there, but the best thing to do right after that is get right back in the horse. So I don't doubt that as well. That's a good shout, Scotty. Brendan might go for that. Put him right back in and say, well, samurai swords are forged in fire. Right back in, right out the pot and right into the fire, son. Right back in at a domestic level. I could see that happening as well. That's a really good shout. But like the chat's been saying earlier on as well, Kaiser could talk for Scotland. So I'll keep it short.
Can I just say something? The reason why I've went for McCowan rather than Hatate is because Hatate actually had a really good game the other night, and he done a lot of the pressing. So he spent a lot of hours in that game, and I think I'd like to see him just kind of gain a wee rest. Plus, McCowan will be champing it a bit to get a start again and really show what he can do, which we know he can do. He's been a good signing for us. So I'd like to see, that's the reason why I'd like to see McCowan.
Yeah. Andy's just off his sports science course, by the way. That's how he's worried about Hatate's legs there. He's reading his heart rate monitor. He's just got the data through to the podcast before we started.
I'm sitting in the classroom talking about fitness, and I'm out with a fag and a rum.
And a bottle.
Brilliant.
And pie, Andy, as well.
It's actually a Liberty Glasgow style.
Just to finish off then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all your comments this evening. This is the updated SPFL Premiership table before we go into the weekend's fixtures. The champions are sitting pretty, but as somebody said, 10 points is as close as they should be getting to us. So let's get it extended. And then we've got Dundee on Wednesday night as well for that postponed match for the Storm. So we're sitting pretty at the top. St Johnstone looking at free fall at the bottom. Aberdeen continuing to free fall as well. And that's pretty much us. So like I said, Andy, thank you so much for your contribution this evening, for your little segment there as well, mate. That was a good bit of fun. Jerry, hopefully your hangover wears off with that wine that you're guzzling there as well, mate, and that just levels you out a wee bit. And Kaiser, we're sorry to see you getting kicked at the Villa, and we hope you get back in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Mate. You get out of the doghouse. That's us.
I'll need to take everybody on the MTV Cribs tour with my council house here in Ibrox. Everybody thinks it's a 10-bedroom mansion. living it up.
Absolutely brilliant. So we've done as best as we can for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, we're busy men behind the scenes on the pod with our jobs and stuff like that and other things we've got going on. So that's us. We'll see you on Sunday for the post-match show. And that's us. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Cheers.
You'll hear
Thank you.
legends.